Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Genesis Block edition of the Bitcoin for Families show, where every guest is your new BFF. That's your Bitcoin friend forever. I'm Scott from SHAmory, and it's an honor to have you all here. I assure you that when Mallory and I launched SHAmory in April of 2020, we never thought it would lead to launching a show 5 years later, but here we are. So, quick housekeeping before we dive into the show. As a reward for being here, I will be dropping a special $15 discount code for use over on our website at some point during this episode. So stick around because it will only work for the first 10 users. Good luck. Now, when I started thinking about how to roll the show out, I knew the only answer was to take it back to April 20th of 2020. That's the day our guest pushed out my first ever podcast appearance. Since that time, I've had the honor of joining for 3 more of his shows. And lucky for me, by the time those shows rolled around, his co-hosts had joined the fun as they marched towards releasing over 500 episodes. So enough with the hints, which I'm sure many of you have figured out. It's time to welcome the star of the Once Bitten podcast, Lauren Prince, and some guy she calls Dad. How's it going, guys?
Going well.
Yeah, love the intro. Thank you very much.
That intro, it's gotten way better.
Yeah,
going straight to your heads. Well, I guess the star of the Once Bitten podcast and part of the inspiration behind our stuffed animal back there, since that also came from the show. So, you're dabbling everywhere.
the plushie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plushie episode.
Yeah, still haven't gotten anywhere with that, have we?
Well, no, but Scott went and did it.
Yeah.
You went and did it.
But,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but I still haven't done it.
Exactly. We got to deliver that one to you in person in Miami a couple years ago. So that was perfect.
It was amazing. Thank you.
Now, before I dive into the question, I have a small quiz. You're both welcome to answer this. So I've been on Once Bitten 4 times, and I went back and looked. I've got the dates of each of those episodes and the timestamps for the price of Bitcoin at each of those. How close do you think you guys can get for each of those?
Wow.
Here we go.
You said
ready?
already April 2020.
Yep. So that's the first one. April 20th, 2020. That's when
So
we
we must have been languishing around.
I have no idea.
$6,000.
I don't follow
Right.
the price, so
Good. You got it. 6,850.
Okay.
So
and then
April. So the second one is April 24th, 2021. And that's when Mallory and I came on to talk about Goodnight Bitcoin when Lauren and the rest of your siblings had done the video with us.
Okay.
So about a year, almost.
Oh, right.
a little bit
Okay.
later.
So we crossed all-time highs again back in like December, January, and then it would have been cooling off maybe 17,500.
You're cutting us short. 49,450.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's April 2021.
April 24th, 2021.
So we blasted through 20,000 like December time.
Yeah, I think it must have been, and then we had that big peak in, what was it, like May or June? And I think the August we were probably coming back down before going back up to the second one.
So and that peak would have been like 68K, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm way off on all of them.
Oh man, this is amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Go on. Well,
Okay,
what
number
next?
three, May 16th, 2023. It's when Yusuf and I came on to talk about the SHAmory project and the water well.
Yeah.
So we're about 2 years later, essentially. And about 2 years
2023.
since then. Yeah, May 16th.
Going sideways in the 30s.
You're close, 26,966.
Right.
Okay, and last one, August 13th, 2024, when Tomer and I came on to talk about Tomer's book and us releasing it.
Huh. So we'd reached all-time highs pretty much in Madeira, right? That was in March. Oh, it's got to be 58K gang. I mean, shout out. Like,
So you're pretty close on 3 of the 4. Nice on 59,192.
oh, all right. Yes.
I got none of those.
Yep. So you're a true Bitcoiner when you have the stripes and the Bitcoin price marked in the back of your head. So we're sitting here, let's see, what are we? April 28th, 2025, and we're at 93,875. So we'll mark that one in the record books as too.
Nice.
Cool. Well, thought that'd be a fun way to kick things off. So
And what's the block height right now, Lauren?
I don't have that open either, so you're good. So the plan for all of these episodes is to kick things off with some 5 quick icebreaker type questions. These are for both of you. If you're ready, we can dive right into those. Okay, so you guys have obviously done a lot of traveling over the years. What's the funniest travel mishap your family has had on the road that still makes you guys laugh today?
Goodness me. Too many to count.
Mishap.
I mean, you would have all the memories because I won't.
Well, what travel stories do we talk about the most?
I've just gone all blank now.
The
The
pressure.
monkey attack.
The monkey
Oh,
attack.
that sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The monkey attack at the gates of Angkor Wat in Cambodia, when Lauren and Samuel were 3.5, 3 and change, something like that.
Okay.
And Sophia would have been 6, Caitlin 8, and Claire and I, perennial 21-year-olds. We arrived there on a tuk-tuk, and
The best way.
the best way, of course, for a long day exploring the temples. And this monkey descended out of nowhere because it's used to tourists feeding it bananas and whatever else. We just didn't have any. And before you knew it, it had clambered itself up Samuel and was sitting on his head. And Claire and I had no idea what to do or how to handle this situation. The monkey didn't have a handler. It wasn't a tourist attraction thing. It was a monkey.
Wild
doing,
monkey.
like, monkey stuff. Yeah. And we just had panic in our eyes. We didn't want to be, rushing him off to the hospital for some kind of bandaging up and goodness knows what else they do. So Claire just swiped it with her handbag, and I managed to grab him and you, and I think I held you both up in the air.
But it came for me anyways.
Yeah, it did. It wasn't giving up.
Nope.
What size was the monkey? How big was the monkey?
It was one of these like kind of grey macaque type things, I guess. It was twice as big as the plushie.
Okay. 2 times Satoshi.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I did not expect a monkey still. I guess you could also say that instead of a boating accident, you can always say the monkey's got your keys.
It did.
Yeah.
It stole all the Bitcoin.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yep.
It still hurts.
It's a sad story. We won't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Lightning question, icebreaker number 2. If you guys could home swap with any Bitcoin personality for a week, who would it be, and what do you think you'd learn from their lifestyle?
Huh. I mean, the Fiat answer is sailor's yacht.
I was gonna say
Okay.
that.
We're not gonna do
Oh
that.
no.
Yeah, but
I was thinking sailor, and I'm like, wait, no, that's too much of a basic answer.
I figured you guys would go there. I don't know if you also get the jet ski, have that mess up again. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
yes.
I love that.
That was good fun. Okay,
love-
anyway,
I love
look,
pulling that.
been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Done.
So good question.
Oh, we still haven't been to El Salvador.
No, we haven't. All right, yeah, we'd swap with Chimbera.
Okay. To go explore El Salvador?
Yes, Chimbera from Bitcoin Beach.
Yep.
We would swap with him, and he could come on with his wife and little girl. I'm sure it's a little girl, a little baby. I
think it's a girl.
They can come and spend a week over here in Europe, and we'd go and spend a week over there in Bitcoin Beach and learn about their culture and everything that's going on. But that would suck because I'd want to be there with them.
I was gonna say, you would want to come to England.
Oh, people want to come to England? Of course they do.
I mean, London, I understand.
No, come on. Chimbera. Yeah,
Okay.
that's who it'd be.
We haven't gotten to
We want to go to Mama Rosa's and get the papusas and get and use Lightning and do all the things and go and see Mike and go to Bitcoin Beach podcast studio and everything. They've done such great work.
Perfect. No, and we haven't made our way down there yet, so we can meet you guys there. Mike is from San Diego, so we have that connection too. Okay, icebreaker number 3. What's the most bizarre food you guys have tried in your travels, and did you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
What did you just eat last week?
Oh, cicadas.
Cicadas, yeah.
Cicadas, deep fried cicadas.
What are cicadas?
Like a giant beetle bug thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, it's because I ate one of those. I thought it was like shrimp, and I was like, you know what? I want to try seafood. I hate seafood, but I'm like, you know what? I need to open my taste buds somehow. So this friend who's an Aussie, obviously, he was like, yeah, try these cicadas. I'm like, are cicadas like a type of shrimp? He was like, yeah. And I took one and I ate it, and I didn't taste it. I just chewed and swallowed because, but yeah, I wouldn't have it again.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm
We
down.
ate the bugs.
You listened. You fell into the trap. So you've lost your keys to the monkey, and you've started eating the bugs.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope once you start.
It
But,
is.
thank you. What's his name? He's not even the head of the WEF at Schwab. Thank you, Uncle Klaus, for showing us the way. I will use your fiat currency. I will eat your bugs, and whatever else that they want to throw at us.
Yep. And now you own nothing.
Yeah, I own nothing, and I'm happy.
There you go. Well, but that's Lauren's answer. What's yours? What's your craziest food?
Yeah, well, if we wound back when we were traveling again, I ate crickets.
Oh yeah.
I ate
Okay.
the bugs.
You ate the bugs.
Again.
In a Thai market, like it's one of the tourist things that they're
Yeah.
frying them all up and whatever else. So I was kind of egged on to do it by said children. I actually bought it. I bought them because I thought it'd be fun to try and get the kids to eat them and try a little bit of the culture and make a little video for the blog for friends and family that were following
Yeah.
the blog. But yeah, it backfired on me because I was the only one that ate the bugs.
Were you seriously counting on kids to eat cricket?
Yeah, I thought you might be. I thought you might be adventurous.
We
Anything
had
else
mango
weird?
smoothies. Why else would we have crickets?
I can't think of anything else weird, or full and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's. Oh, I ate snake once in Vietnam.
Didn't Mummy eat crocodile, or was that before?
Yeah, I've eaten
everything?
crocodile before as well. Yeah, that would
There's
be
the baseball team in Seattle, the Mariners. They sell crickets at their stadium as one of their fun foods to have at the stadium. There's a large Asian population in Seattle, so I think that's part of the reason why they do that. But they're known for selling crickets up there. So if you guys are ever in Seattle, there's that opportunity to run it back.
We did watch a baseball game in Seattle, but we got the footlong instead.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Very nice. Okay. Icebreaker number 4. When you're home swapping, what's the funniest or most unexpected item you found in someone's house that made you guys laugh?
I wouldn't know this.
Funniest item that made us laugh. Oh,
Goodness me.
yeah. I don't know.
Stumped you.
Yeah. We've stayed in some great places, and everybody's so friendly and
Oh, what about that house that we stayed in? Was it like the Rockstar house? Did we find anything
Yeah.
there?
oh no, that was the coolest stuff. We
Okay,
stayed
go
in
with
a
that. That
house-
works.
Yeah, we stayed in a house. Shout out to the Stone Roses fans. They're a British band that were kind of battling in those times between Oasis, Blur, Stone Roses. It was that kind of era.
Okay.
And it turned out we ended up home swapping with the bass player, Manny. He had a place down in the south of France. And on the walls were all of the platinum records and stuff
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
won. And loads of
awesome.
signed album covers. And he even had a signed Bobby Charlton shirt from the 1966 World Cup final, framed and up on the wall. We were like walking around thinking, huh? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
But he was such a lovely guy, and he'd be emailing us. And it was just around the time that they were resurging and they were doing a comeback tour. And he kept saying, are you going to be in Tokyo anytime soon? Come to the show. We're like, well, no. Are you going to be in Paris? Yeah, but we did end up going to the one in Wembley. So that was great. And the reason he home swapped with us was because they were going on their Sydney tour, and we have a place. We were home swapping our place in Koh Samui in Thailand, and he just wanted that as a kind of a come down. And he was on the same home exchange website, and well, his wife had sorted it all out. So yeah, that was probably the coolest story.
Okay, that works. But hey, you never know you're gonna get connected to when you start doing it. Okay, last one before we dive into the deeper stuff. If your family starred in a reality show about your travels, what would the title be, and who would be the biggest drama king or drama queen on camera?
Caitlin, the biggest drama queen.
That was quick.
Okay, so she's the queen.
Yep.
Right. Yep. What would we call it?
And while you're saying that, for those that don't know, Caitlin is the oldest, and so that's who's getting blamed as the drama queen.
Yeah, little sister is pointing a big pointy finger at big sister. Right?
I would be the second. Okay, I would be the second. I'm putting myself out there. I would be the second, but
Okay.
Caitlin first.
Is there a big gap or a small gap between that first and second?
Big gap, but I would be the second.
Okay.
I don't know what we'd call it. I mean, well, the blog was called Princes Off the Grid. Yeah, so I guess that would be it.
You choose life, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can just
the book. Yeah,
plug the show, plug the book through the show. Say choose life show.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna dive into some deeper stuff. These should hopefully still be fun. But for those that don't know, Daniel came from a background in the finance industry, living in Singapore, and I'm sure some people might have heard going back to that time on some of his episodes. But for those that didn't, your book Choose Life, which is something everybody should buy, it's all about embracing freedom through travel and alternative living. What was that pivotal moment that made you and your wife decide to leave the finance industry and take your family on this global adventure, and then obviously back to where you are today?
I would say that was a gradual process of just being, it was a grind. The last 2 or 3 years that I was employed in that business was just a grind, and I just stopped enjoying it, and I didn't want to be there anymore. And I had 4 kids at home and a wife that I wasn't seeing. And I think that resonates with a lot of people that are still trapped on the Fiat hamster wheel. And I would bemoan, I met a friend. We would just sit there and like, there's got to be more to life than moving numbers around the screen. Like, what are we doing this for? This makes no sense anyway. It's a completely crazy business to be in, and you're surrounded by pretty crazy characters. And he said one lunchtime that we'd met up for a drink, he's like, just go and get a copy of the 4-Hour Workweek and see how that sits with you. And I never read these books, and I don't know why I went and bought it, but I got back to the office. I called the nearest bookstore. I asked them if they had it. I had 1 copy. I said, please reserve it. I'll come down at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'll grab it. And I did, and I couldn't stop reading. And that was November 2013, and by March 2014, we were done. And I'd quit. We'd taken the kids out of school. We'd sold everything pretty much, and decided to go traveling with them. And I mean, the book talks about those moments of decision making, and I think that the most clarity hit me when we were going through this arc of going through all of like, oh, but what if, because they never end, by the way.
Yeah.
The biggest what if was, what if in 10 years' time we look back at all of this research that we had done and we decided not to go? What would that look like? What would that what if bring up? And that was so clarifying. It's like, well, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to know what could have happened. So that was it. And that point, it's like, right, it doesn't matter about the what ifs anymore. Let's go. So yeah, that was the journey.
No, I'm sure it definitely has, and something you guys definitely don't regret, I assume you say. And having those what ifs is something. I mean, Mallory and I talk about it all the time. Even making that decision to leave full-time employment and work on SHAmory a couple of years ago, just to what if it would have grinded at me, not knowing what could happen and seeing where it could go. And Lauren, I know when all that started, you were very young, obviously older today, and when you look back at all that, was there a moment that you realized as a kid that the lifestyle that Daniel and your mom were raising you guys in was quote unquote different than the norm, that kind of that light bulb went off in your head? Is there a moment when you actually started realizing that?
No,
No.
no.
Just kind of
Not even when I went to primary school. I don't know, just didn't click. And I
yeah.
just never thought I was different.
I think it's probably potentially because it started so young that it was the
Yeah.
norm for you, is probably played into it. Similar to how, when you think about kids learning about Bitcoin, people like, Charlotte's almost 6 now, but she just thinks of it as another form of money. It's not something that she thinks is different. So probably a similar type thing where you just grew up around traveling and being part of this alternative lifestyle that worked out.
And to be honest, it's almost part of the beauty that that they didn't go through the BS, like that all they remember. I mean, it's not good times for them, but it's just normal. So, oh yeah, it's normal to be around my mum and dad all day long and
Yes.
travel the world and like that. Yeah, that's normal. Like, what, you guys don't do that? But yeah, so like, it sounds like a very privileged thing to say, but that literally is. That's what we should be doing. We should be around our kids all day long. Like that, we shouldn't be farming them out to a state-run institution so they can be propagandized by whatever the agenda is of that freaking sitting political party that is just a puppet show for somebody else. Like, taking complete and utter control of your family is huge. And this is what Bitcoin is allowing people to do. And this is what you and Mallory have managed to do with your own kids. And it's just this is what lights me up when I see other Bitcoiners, younger than us, like saying, you know what, never going to send the kids to school. I'm like, yes, that is a huge step forward. And I want to be around my kids as much as I can. And I'm going to now quit my job because Bitcoin has rescued me. And we're going to move out of the city and we're going to go build our citadel and, farm off the land and whatever it is that people are doing. Build our house out of natural materials. Like, there's so much going on that has been unlocked by Bitcoin, and it's just so heartwarming to see it.
Yep. And it's actually similar to that what if you don't take that step to be around your kids and to help that education, then you'll probably 10 years from now wonder, why didn't I do that? Or what would have been different if I did? And it's even the little things that we talk about all the time with Charlotte, and we will with Zoe once she's older, but she doesn't even know what an alarm clock is for the most part. The only
Right.
time that an alarm clock is used is if we have to get on an airplane, or if she has a sporting event, or she has to get up for, that sort of thing. So even those little things where it's like in the morning time, we're not rushing out of the house. We're both, Mallory and I, are exercising, so we're setting that example, like healthy, get up, get out, get outside, move, taking turns. But while that's happening, there's usually, one of us is reading a book to the kids, and the other one's, getting breakfast ready. And it's not coming out of a box. It's something that, it's a smoothie, or it's something being cooked on the stove. All those little things that become part of the benefits of this sort of lifestyle that lots of people probably never even think of as being a byproduct of it all.
That's, I mean, and this is the alternate lifestyle, right? You guys are leading an alternate lifestyle. It's like, no, you're not. You're doing it right. That's the way it should be. The alternate lifestyle is gently waking a 4-year-old awake at like 6:30 a.m. so you can get some Fruit Loops down their neck with some semi-skimmed freaking almond milk or whatever the hell people are doing to their children, which is bad for them, by the way, and then dropping them off at some state-run institution surrounded by strangers under compulsion, which they don't want to be around. Like, that's alternative. That is completely alternative to anything else humans have ever done in Homo sapiens sapiens existence. This last 150 years, when we look at actually what we're doing with education and rearing young people, is just absolute insanity. We are living the alternative, and it's completely upside down. It's a total clown world.
Yep. Is there, this is kind of for both of you, Lauren, if you have an answer, is there an unexpected lesson that you guys think you've learned through all of this, that you think other families could benefit from, whether it's through the travel or the school or something else, but something that when everything started, you didn't think would be a benefit or a lesson that has come about?
Probably never trust the government, like ever.
Probably never thought you'd be saying those words, but yep, that works. Oh, there we go. We got the hug from Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, trust yourself. Become self-sovereign. Don't just do what other people tell you what to do.
Don't trust, verify.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Got the right tagline there. And when you are traveling, obviously, 4 kids' personalities are going to shine in different ways. We've already learned that Caitlin's the drama queen, with Lauren very, very, very far behind there.
Gosh, I hope she doesn't see this.
I'll be sure to send it to her. Don't worry. But Daniel, can you share a story when during your travels, maybe one of your kids took charge of something that you didn't expect, and it kind of showed you something about their growth as a child and maybe growing up into adult that you didn't really expect in that moment? Was there a moment that rings your bell?
Ooh. Taking charge of something.
Or just like a moment of growth where you guys were out doing something, you kind of just realized that they're not little kids anymore, but they're independent and trustworthy and taking charge of their independence, as Lauren just said.
Yeah, I mean, they come in the tiniest forms. That they, if you weren't around them all day and kind of tuned into them, you'd probably miss them, those moments. But when you are, you just see like the tiniest thing. Like we'd all be out at a coffee shop or something, and someone would need to pay the bill, and I would say, right, okay, who's going to pay the bill? And here's $20 or £20 or whatever else, and blah blah blah. And you just throw out the question, and Lauren will be the one, yeah, okay, fine, and she'll just take the note and walk inside, and then go and speak to the person and say, yeah, we're sitting on that table, and just handle the whole thing. So stuff like that. I remember as well when we were, I mean, there's so many different travel stories, but you get in scrapes every now and then where people do you remember we were in Malaga airport and we'd landed and we were off to go do our thing, and we were halfway down the escalators through customs and blah blah blah, and then one of the kids turned around and said, we haven't got our bags from the
No. We were just about to go out, but then we decided to go get like Starbucks or something because my mum wanted a tea, and then Caitlin was like, "Where's our bags?"
Yeah. So
well, isn't it? Caitlin's used to having a butler carry her bags, right? That's what we've learned.
Exactly. So that rescued a bit of a situation. And then, like the education stuff that's interesting because you put so much pressure on yourself as a parent. Rightly so. You're bringing up, young people, or as we like to say, we're raising adults, not children, and that means that you have to be open with them and talk.
You have to treat them like an adult from a young age.
Yeah. And I remember I was doing some math problems with Caitlin, and it showed up huge gaps in my knowledge. And I think that was a real moment of growth for both of us, because all of a sudden she realized, grown-ups don't know everything. And they are, they do have weaknesses. And we sat there together and tried to find different YouTube videos. And then we found Uncle Sal Khan on Khan Academy explaining long division and order of operations and things like that. And we would just learn side by side together, and the pieces would start clicking in my mind again, because you got to wind yourself back, 30 years before you learn all that stuff. And that was just, they were really nice moments where you could see all of a sudden the growth beginning to happen, because it was happening naturally and organically and right alongside an adult. who was going through the same kind of process. So that was those moments were great, and we always did little science experiments, didn't we? Do you remember those? Maybe you're too young. We were doing a siphon science experiment, so we had to go out and buy all the hoses and buy the water canisters and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I just
remember that?
thought of another story.
Yeah.
When the girls made birds' nests,
Yeah.
my sisters, they both made birds' nests.
Big bird
huge.
nests and
We were like next to a cow field, and my parents woke up the next morning and they pulled the curtains, and there was like these 2 cows in the field eating the nest.
Yeah, they'd escaped the field, and we're tucking into Sophia and Caitlin's bird's nest.
So
That-
that was fun.
That would be interesting. I know if that happened to Charlotte, there'd be some tears seeing those bird's nests get demolished by a cow. No, those are all great points. And for you, Lauren, kind of shifting back to travel for a second, is there a favorite spot you've been, or a favorite moment at a spot that comes to mind in all the travels?
I really like Croatia.
Okay.
Croatia was beautiful, and it was really fun because we used to go on like this, what was it, like a tour boat with this guy, and he absolutely loved Samuel, and he always used to like sing on the guitar and like jump in the water and like swim under the boat. And it was like, yeah, that was really fun.
Favorite Bitcoin conference?
Oh, Madeira.
I figured that was gonna be the answer.
Yeah. And then I think second is probably going to be Prague. Prague is also really good.
Prague looks fun. We have to get over that way. Hopefully one of these years. Hopefully for 2028 in Madeira. That would be the goal. We got some time. Guys, shifting it back to kind of homeschooling for a second. One of the questions I imagine many people would think of is, what does that look like on a day-to-day basis? What's that schedule? And that's probably something that scares people. I know going into it, it probably scared Mallory and I, and then you just kind of figure it out. But for both of you, can you kind of talk about your daily structure when it comes to the learning, and both from a kid perspective and the parent perspective, and how that's kind of morphed over the years as the kids have gotten more independent?
That's the key word. It's just morphed. It's forever morphing.
Yeah, it really depends on like what your lifestyle is and who you're like, what child you're dealing with. It really does depend.
And we've used so many different platforms. There was that time you guys were using Galileo
/ Cubrio.
Then that rebranded to Cubrio. You're probably doing that for 2 years.
No, I did that for no, it was nearly 3.
Right. Okay. So that was just all classes arranged online and in Zoom clubs. But sometimes you'd have 2 or 3 classes a day, and doing all kinds of stuff.
I used to be having like 5. I used to have one class, and then now 3, Jesus, 3, and then 2 other classes after that. And sometimes I won't end until like 5. I'd start at 9:30 for a check-in, and then probably go from 12 to 5. I don't know. It was. My days were full until they were like, no, like you shouldn't have these jam-packed days.
Yeah.
So they tried like taking out some of the classes, which it felt like refreshing at first, but then it just got a bit boring.
And now we are in the UK, and so you go to what's known as a Sudbury Valley School, a democratic school, for 3 days a week, which are opt-in lessons. So that's different again, and that's new. And then
I'm going to junior college, and if I get in the summer. So yeah.
In September. So that'll be a new thing again. Just to try that out and see what that looks like. And that would be 5 days a week, kind of 9 to 3, which you have actual like scheduled lessons, like a scheduled timetable. But it's kind of a vocational course, and this one is all around
countryside,
exactly,
farming, stuff like that. So
land management, planting plants, and
so kind of like a trade type school.
Well, yeah,
type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, some days would be outside, like gardening or turning over the soil.
And you have all the animals there, right?
Oh yeah, or taking care of the animals, or we'd just be learning biology or maths or English. Yeah.
Is that something just you're interested in, or Sophia and Samuel as well?
Sophia's in college, so doing like A
Got it.
levels now. So it's gonna be me and Samuel.
Okay.
It's we're gonna do that for like 2 years to get something called a GCSE.
Okay.
And yeah, and I mean, the first time, actually, funny story. The first time we went, there was like this whole meeting explaining what it was, and we came out. I'm like, I'm not really sure. I'm not really into like planting and stuff. I'm not into gardening.
Yeah.
And then that night we had an interview with what's his name?
David Bennett.
David.
Yep. I know David.
Not none of your business.
Yeah, none of
Yes.
your business. Yeah, and he was talking about this fungi.
Arbuscular mycorrhiza.
Yeah, I was getting that. And this fungi that's like in like underground and just like in like all of the plants, and it connects to like so many trees, and it just helps the nutrients with the trees for like sugar as payment, because they get a lot of sugar from the sun after they like um photosynthesize.
Yep.
I'm sorry, my brain isn't working. And so yeah, and I was like, that's actually like really interesting, and I stayed on for the like whole podcast, and that's like very very few times I've done that. So after that I'm like, right, I'm going.
There you go.
So yeah, it was
So
such a
we have
cool
David and the Bitcoin and podcast to be able to thank for that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I still have that episode in my queue, but I got it in there. David, going back, was one of the first episode podcasts I was on as well, going back to 2020. So we have that connection as well. And then so it's fun to always see him still pop up and put out those shows every day.
News you can use.
Exactly. Well, you kind of already answered this one right now, Lauren, in a way, but I was going to ask you, is there a time that you remember learning something extremely interesting that you don't think you'd have ever learned in the classroom? But I think you kind of just answered a version of it.
Yeah.
With that, is there any other times that pop into your head other than that? Because that one was awesome.
Oh, probably so many that I don't actually think that. I don't know how to explain it. I probably know so many that I learned outside of the classroom, but thinking it's normal. Oh, well, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That was a huge one.
The speaking French.
Oh yeah.
That kind of just happened.
Yeah. That just formed. Oh, there's probably so many more.
Being a co-host.
Yeah. I can't think of any right now, but
Those are all,
I mean, those
all
are
perfect
all
ones.
pretty good ones, I
Yeah,
think.
no, those are good ones. No, and we stumbled right onto the agricultural one, so that was perfect. And Daniel, being a mentor to your kids is something invaluable. But what's one lesson, big or small, that one of your kids have taught you through their perspectives, whether it's on the road or back at home or through school or
Can I answer
any
one?
of those ways?
Yeah, please do.
Being
Go for it.
patient.
But yeah, I am Zen.
He's zen until he cracks.
I had to be. Oh my gosh! Like the
I was one of the main causes.
well, you go from Fiat corporate life to full-time stay-at-home dad, like overnight.
Yeah.
And man, those first few months were very, very
Heaven.
difficult, very challenging. Probably not talked about enough, actually. For those that are looking to do it and want to do it, you got to remember, like, that's a huge mind shift, not just for you, but for everybody around you. All of a sudden, you're making parenting decisions on the fly that your wife has been dealing with, like the whole child's career, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, can I have some chocolate? And you're like, no, and she's like, yeah, of course you can. You're like, what? What? Hang on, we should be a team. I'm like, yeah, yeah. So, and then just. Claire had become so good at just tuning out to all of like the nonsense little 4-year-old, 6-year-old, 8-year-old arguments that happen
Yeah.
all the time. Whereas I couldn't stand it. I'm like, my God, get me back to corporate life. I can't freaking handle this just
Go
nonsense.
hide in a cube.
Both the cups are pink. Just have the cup. Like,
Yes.
just nonsense like that. But I'm much more zen now than those early days.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
we definitely know that feeling. It is a shift, even though, our shift really happened. It started because of COVID. At that time, I still had my full-time job. Mallory had hers. And then we started being home, and Charlotte was, what was she? She was like 8 months old at the time. And then since then, it's just become our norm, but it definitely took time to get used to that cycle of being all together all the time. How do you fit in the normals to going back to, just the morning routine, Okay, we both want to exercise, we both want to get breakfast, shower, and then dealing with that. And then, now we've added on a second kid. So you reshift thinking there. Luckily we're both used to being home now, and being around. So that's not the issue, but it's dividing up the time, finding quiet time so that Mallory still does have her job. I do SHAmory stuff, so we do need quiet time to be able to focus. And how does that happen? So there is that mentality, and whether it's the pink cups or the lunch isn't hot enough or too cold or who knows what,
It's endless, and you never know what it's going to be.
Oh no, well, it's different. It's different every day.
Yeah, also which food they like and don't like anymore.
Oh, yes, that changes on a daily basis. So Zoe's big thing, it's something unlike we've ever seen. So she's 15 months. She's a great eater. She'll eat pretty much anything, which is awesome. But when she's done eating, she will sign all done. And then I not joke you, if you do not have that food away from her within 10 seconds, she will huck it, whatever it is, whether it's the food or her cup, it'll be across the room. Like, she's like, I told you all done 10 seconds ago, and you still have me in this high chair. I need out of this thing. And it's like 0 to 60. So we're a little worried about her anger. So we might need some therapy lessons in the
Maybe
future.
anger management.
Exactly. We'll see how that develops. But yeah, those little things, just like, girl, just relax for a second. There's only we can't get the beans away from you that fast before the chili's going across the room.
I said I've had enough broccoli.
Yes, exactly.
God damn you people.
We heard it, so we know that all too well. That it's a shift for sure, and just not going back to like your shift, Daniel, not having to get up and go to work is great, but then I'm sure you dealt with some of like figuring out your own identity type thing, and that whole side of things can also play into it as well, I'm sure.
That's a huge one. Yeah, that is a huge one. And I'm sure you know this after leaving Journeys, right?
Yep.
You go from Mr. Corporate guy that's been wearing, well, I talk about it in the book. I'm sure that's what you're referring to. You wear a mask, right? Every single day you're putting on a mask just to walk out, and you've got to be a different guy for your colleagues and your customers and your boss, and it's just exhausting. And then when you get to take that off, you're like, it's the classic Zoolander, who am I? Yeah. Like, what? Wait a minute. I don't have an identity anymore. I'm no longer this corporate Joe Blow. I'm nothing to talk about. Like, I can't go to the bar and say, so what do you do for a living, and have any kind of substance being. I still have this today. People ask me all the time, oh, so what is it? Just today, this afternoon. Oh, what is it you do? I'm like, suppose I have a podcast. Does that count?
Yep.
You do that for work? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. There's some show sponsors, but I do. It's not a 9 to 5. Like, what are you looking for? Because everybody else is still trapped on the hamster wheel, and they just want to talk about corporate life and what it is they do, and what it is where they're going, and what's the next big promotion, and there's so much stigma behind it. There's, oh, what do you do for a living? And then boom, you're judged.
Yep.
Whatever it is you say, you're judged. Oh,
Yeah.
you're one of those guys. Right.
Exactly. Or it just goes on to the next question because the person isn't listening
Yeah, when
anyways.
people ask me about the podcast, I used to just say, it's a Bitcoin podcast. And I'm like, yeah. So now I say, I run a podcast on the intersection between traditional finance, which is what I used to work in, and what's coming. And
There you
that's
go.
Bitcoin. And what's exciting about that? And okay. So I'm getting a little bit more interest with that delivery. So I'll hand that off to you.
That works, and it's perfect transition. Speaking of the podcast, working together, I'm sure has been a blast over the past 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. Is there something that each of you have learned from the other person's personality through doing that you didn't expect?
Oh, no.
What have I learned, Lauren?
Oh, no.
That you never have your first question in time, that you don't write it down?
Oh,
Is that what it is?
that's one of them. What else?
Oh, goodness. I forget. Like
You do forget. No, like that's it. She forgets.
I forget.
She's not saying I forget what I do. She's saying I forget.
There you go.
I forget about
Okay.
things.
I'm like, Lauren, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes till the podcast. She's like, what podcast? The one I told you about. And then like mummy's like, when did you tell her? I'm like, this morning.
But then I remember when you say who it is, I'm like, oh yeah, that person. But then I'm just like,
I'm sure you've heard it said before, Scott, but I'm Lauren's people.
Yes.
You know, I'm the scheduler. I'm the secretary. I read all the books. I do all the research. I do all the reach out. I do all the calling and all the work in the background. I even set the chair up.
oh, I do that. I usually do that.
She brings you your beer, though.
She does.
Exactly.
She does bring me the beer if that's running low,
Isn't
or a coffee, depending on the time of day.
isn't that nice that sometimes we can go back to the other podcasts and can hear our old voices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wager actually that Scott could be. You might have listened to the most Once Bitten episodes.
It's up there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Lauren, I don't know if I was thinking about this earlier today because the first episode you weren't on. It was before your time. But I actually remember the first time I ever talked to you, and it must have been in 2020, maybe early 2021. And I had gone to a Bitcoin meetup here in San Diego to show the game or whatever. And it was outside at a bar. And your dad and I were, I think, telegramming back and forth. And you wanted to video in. And we videoed in from the bar. And Lauren, you were on the call too. And where you guys were still in lockdown. You couldn't go to restaurants and everything yet. And I remember you saying, Lauren, see how nice that is? They can be outside and start doing stuff again. So that's my first memory of meeting you for the first time, Lauren, on the show. So it's been a wild ride for sure. And yes,
I remember that. Cool. Yeah, you were at a Bitcoin metup, I think.
Yep.
You were with a bunch of people, and I'm like, oh my god.
Now you bring it up, I remember, but
Yeah.
That's okay.
Weird time.
No, it's been a long time, but yeah, no, definitely still have all those episodes. And out of all those episodes, is there one guest that you guys, have a story from a guest that rings the bell the most for each of you?
Whoa.
Paul, Uncle.
I guess we
Black
kind of
was
already got
probably,
Lauren's from David's story.
Yeah, but when we met Uncle Blank and when we went on the jet skis, that's probably the most memorable Bitcoin experience.
The memorable, right? Okay, in real life.
In real life, yes.
Who's Uncle Blank? There's a reason he's called Uncle Blank.
I know.
Because you always forget his name.
I said you can edit this out because this is not nice.
I'm just a lowly podcaster. I don't know what editing is.
John
Vallis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Gosh, I remembered his name. It was there. Oh gosh, I'm really embarrassed.
Oh.
I remember his name every other time except for this time.
Well, he's Uncle Blank for OPSEC reasons as well.
Yeah.
Just
This is actually just proving your dad's point that you forget things.
Yeah. Oh, Scott, to answer your question, so many. What is it now? Like 506, 550 odd episodes?
I think it might have been like because I was just looking it up earlier. I think it was 76, 576 maybe. I could be off, but it was something like that
So
when I was
yeah,
going
there's a
back and
lot
getting
of
behind.
info there. What I found is 539. 539. There you go. And this last one, actually, this is an absolute mind bender. This is about this movement of people like they call themselves sovereigns, and they're like opting out of the system. Like they're deregistering their cars, they're taking a lloyd title over their house, they're learning law and the difference between law and legal jurisdictions, and UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, I think it's called in the US.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's deep stuff, and how fraudulent tax is, and that one, that's a mind melter. But I've also I did a stolen science series.
Yeah.
As you know, Bitcoin touches everything, right?
Yep.
And I did 2-part episode with a guy called Ashton Forbes, who has been following this story, the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines MH370 back in March 2014. And the reason that resonates with me a lot is because that plane went missing. That flew out of KL to Beijing. That plane went missing the day we flew out of Singapore to go to Koh Samui.
Mm.
And that's always stuck. It's like, what do you mean a plane just disappeared? Like no one can find it. That doesn't make any sense. And still to this day, we're being lied to about it.
we're being lied to about a lot of things.
Yes. And Ashton has been picking this one apart. Ashton Forbes, if you go to Once Bitten, Stolen Science, and find Ashton Forbes, and then he's like figured out all of this 0 point energy and everything that's being hidden from us that was probably discovered during the Manhattan Project. And Jack Cruz has been throwing bombs in on this as well, like with all of his knowledge from his career and past cross points with certain people. And he came on the podcast and he talked about why his TED Talk was banned. Then he said something that sent me right down a rabbit hole. A couple of very good friends, Bitcoiners of mine, had already been in my ear trying to, like Princey, like, look at the sky. That's not right. Like the lines in the sky and the way they spread, and this is geoengineering. Have you looked into it? I'm like, no, guys, like seriously, I can't start talking about that stuff. What you talking? Yeah, I'm just going to talk about Bitcoin. Everything's connected. And then Jack brought it up in the interview. He said something along the lines of, then you got lunatics that are trying to block out the sun, and so we get deficient in vitamin D, and that's no good for our mitochondrial. I'm like, wait, Jack, what are you talking about? Like blocking the sun? He's like, yeah, well, the spraying the silver iodide in the sky. Like he just said it, like what, you don't know about this stuff? Like, you're not looked up, like I'm like, holy shit, there's something here, and that just sent me down this rabbit hole. And you've probably seen me tweeting about that stuff the last 18 months.
5G towers.
Oh yeah, the 5G tower stuff.
They're everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's not good at all. And
the amount we've busted is just.
Yeah, and that's all part of the Stolen Science series as well, going down the rabbit hole of Wilhelm Reich and orgone energy. Yeah.
The copper.
Oh, electroculture.
Yep. Electroculture.
Using copper wiring and stuff in your herb gardens and vegetable plots and your house plants, and yeah, it's all. I love it all. It doesn't end, and I love it when Bitcoiners come on the show to talk about Bitcoin. Like Pete Wynn's another guy. Pete Wynn comes on to talk about Bitcoin and Fedimin and but I'd met him in Prague and noticed he was walking around barefoot everywhere. He's like, oh yeah, you know, barefoot run and stuff. I'm like, what? We spent 30 minutes talking about the whole barefoot.
Oh yeah,
rabbit hole movement. Like
the thing is, touching grass is like a meme thing.
Yeah,
but it's actually way deeper.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, I still can't get over that John Vallis thing. John Vallis, if you're watching this, I remember your name every other time. I promise.
We'll make sure he knows. No, those are all, I'm sure back when you started the podcast, unimaginable places that the show is taking you through all those conversations. But
Yeah.
awesome, just, awesome places nonetheless to start to keep learning, and especially for the kids out there. Last couple of things to wrap things up. So almost final question, we'll say. As you guys look ahead, kind of personally, Lauren, do you have any things that you want to accomplish as you think about yourself growing as an adult? Like, what do you envision for yourself? And then Daniel, on the flip side, both for Lauren and for all three kids, as a parent, what wishes do you have for them as they grow up to kind of grow into their own adulthood and be themselves? You guys can take it in whatever order.
Yeah.
I think you go first because I don't
Okay.
have an idea yet.
Pure independence and self-sovereignty. I don't want them to ever do a job just for doing a job's sake, like our whole generation has done. The story is so set in stone now that you get up, you go to school, you spend that 20 years going to get that education, and you walk out with a degree or a master's, and then you go into the nearest job that's just got an open door, had nothing to do with what you were studying, just because it's paying. And then 25 years later, you've painted yourself into the corner and you've done something you never, ever was born to do. Doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So I want this for all of the Bitcoiner families out there, that their kids, they're going to be so freed from the fiat trap that they'll be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. And if that is making and selling bracelets at a conference, then do it, because it doesn't matter if you're making $250,000 to $500,000 a year and you've got the certificate on the wall and you're a lawyer and you've got the fancy BMW. It doesn't matter if you're working 60 hours a week and not seeing your family. That's complete and utter nonsense. Whereas if you've got like the safety net of Bitcoin and you know that your purchasing power is not going to be debased, you can do whatever sets you on fire. And that might change in 2 years' time. That might change 2 years after that. It might change 2 years after that. And then you can start bringing up kids and raising your own family without these pressures that Generation X and millennials and the baby boomers as well have all suffered. And that's truly what I hope to see.
Oh, well said. Did anything pop in your head during that time, Lauren, about your future?
I probably hope to see, well, this is probably very unlikely, but more freedom, maybe.
Yeah.
More freedom for my kids when I'm old enough to have some.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
You want to raise some cows?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get some cows too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, make sure they don't steal any birds' nests.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Cool. Well, okay, it's time for the final two questions. But before that, I promised you all a special discount code. So here it is. Be one of the first 10 people to use code BFF15 at checkout and get $15 off your order at SHAmory.com. And if you're new to SHAmory, we have a line of products that make learning about Bitcoin fun with your kids. 3 books, a card game. Our fun Bitcoin monsters help that happen. So head over to SHAmory.com to check things out today. And let's wrap things up. So they say imitation is the best form of flattery. So just like on the Once Bitten podcast, we will be ending our show the same way each episode. But instead of one question, we've got 2. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So a common saying in the Bitcoin space is Bitcoin is time. Another belief is that time is the scarcest asset the world has ever created. Playing off of that, what is the biggest gift of time that learning about Bitcoin has provided your family?
Just being together.
Yep.
That's huge. You can't put a price on that. We just came back from a holiday in Thailand for 2 weeks, just longer, 2.5 weeks. All six of us went, and we can do that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
What scares me the most is if we can't do that.
Yeah, that's going to be sad. But
Do you mean that in the sense of all of you guys getting older, Lauren? Like as you and your sibling get older? Or?
Yeah, or just like laws coming out,
Mm.
or like dividing families as usual and all that stuff. So if that does happen, then that will be just
yeah, no, but we should be protected from any of that stuff. It's just where you guys end up living in the world, you know, with
Yeah.
what you want to do, and going where the best opportunities are going to be. It could be one day that all four of you are living in different countries,
that will most likely happen.
and yeah, I mean that'd be amazing, whatever you're doing, and yeah, me and Mummy can just fly over and come spend 2 weeks with you and
Wait,
make it holiday time.
can't I just stay with you?
Yeah,
Just buy me pastries and cows?
sure.
There you go.
I'm
Problem
done.
solved.
We need the Citadel,
Yeah.
just outside a nice little town with a good little bakery and some land for cows and sheep and running water. Like
Perfect.
every other Bitcoiner, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Perfect. Okay, now time for the last question, which I think you'll sense a tone from. So, if you had one Bitcoin to give each of your kids, at what age would you give them the keys and why? And for you, Lauren, at what age would you feel comfortable holding those keys?
Ooh, 21, right? It's got to be. There's no
Oh.
other number. Like, you know, that's it. You got to tie everything in. Like, right, 21.
I was thinking.
Here's the
I was
keys.
thinking 24.
No. So 21 because 21 million. 21 because that is the actual cultural number in
I thought 24 was the amount of words you need to get into the key.
well, you could have 12 or 24, yes.
I think 24.
It's okay. You can
24.
both answer a different way. So, Lauren's 24, Daniel's 21.
And I'm 21. But yeah, at 21, you were gifted a key in old cultural times, and that key represented the key to your trust.
Really?
Yes. Which has been hidden from us. That's a whole. You go listen to my podcast with
Yes,
Sovereign
you
Pete.
mentioned
But so a key is very symbolic, and the age of 21 is very symbolic, and the number 21 is very symbolic. So 21.
Yep.
Okay.
I just wish I had some Bitcoin and I could give it to you.
I know. But going back to that monkey that took it, so go find the monkey, and then you have a few years left before you're 21, Lauren. So you have some time to track the monkey down.
Oh,
Maybe you'll get 100 sats at 21. So if I save hard.
Hey, do a few more episodes. Maybe you get a few more streamed on
I
Fountain.
might, I might get some zaps on Fountain or something, some boostergrams.
have you even paid me the last 3 months?
I don't know. Have you shown me any QR codes?
Business on air. We hear that from Charlotte all the time. Okay, well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for you both for being here. It means the world to have you both supporting the show and SHAmory from the beginning. I actually remember, I was thinking about it also earlier, must have been shortly after my first episode when you guys turned the card game into a math problem.
Yes.
And you sent a video of that. You're outside your house in France doing that. So it's literally been from the beginning that Daniel and the entire family have been supporting SHAmory. So Mallory, Charlotte, Zoe, and I all appreciate it. So everyone, if you haven't already done so, go subscribe to the Once Bitten podcast. Pick up Choose Life. Go get that. Obviously, I dropped a promo code for that $15 off in our episode, but at any point in time, you can use code Bitten at SHAmory, and that'll get you 10% off. And for you guys, any other places you want to send them or things you want to say to wrap things up?
I would say buy the books, Goodnight Bitcoin, and Toma's book as well. That they're down there somewhere as well on the on the bookshelf.
Satoshi Nakamoto and his Bitcoin invention.
Yes, absolutely. And I would just an ask for the audience is support Bitcoin only companies and projects. Fountain app is a really easy place to go and listen to podcasts now. So I don't think there's any excuse for a Bitcoiner to be listening to podcasts on YouTube or Spotify or Google Pods or Apple Pods. I mean, if not you, then who? We've got to make the change. Get over to Fountain. It's built. It's been running for 3 or 4 years. Like, please support them. Don't buy any books from Amazon. Get over to bitcoinbook.shop and you can use the code Bitten there for a 10% discount. You can find Choose Life on there, but you can find all the other Bitcoin books on there as well. Not all of them, because there are more and more every day, but they've got such a great selection and different languages, and they're Bitcoiners doing Bitcoiner things. And if we don't support them, and you can buy with Bitcoin over the Lightning Network, and if we don't use the Lightning Network, nobody else is, right? Like, this is on us. And we have to support the businesses. We have to support the projects. And I'm not saying go out and invest, like ego death capital. No, we don't need to do that. We just need to support. We need to lean into this movement and support each other and help as well. Like, if you see a problem with it, don't just bitch and moan. Like, how can you fix it? And sorry,
Family friendly.
Family friendly. Yeah, excuse me. So yeah, that's all I would say. And stay humble, stack sats. Don't loan your Bitcoin to anyone, especially not Wall Street. That's the latest
Exactly.
thing. That's the latest grift coming your way. So yeah, stay alert and self-custody your Bitcoin.
That's a perfect way to wrap it up. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed the first episode. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Scott.
Hi, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a good review. And buy your kids some stuff at SHAmory.com today. Bye. 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 Bye.